tragedies reveal the Christ likeness or the Christlessness in you.
Yes, sir.
And so we do understand that these different aspects of our being, our creation, that they are dealt with individually, right? Be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, not the renewing of your spirit yet, but the renewing of your mind. And so we do understand that our dimensional beings can be in different places of healing.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, you can be. Healing is not. That's an excellent question, by the way. Healing is not, and people would think that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Healing is not necessarily the absence of pain. It is not.
Good.
Healing is the absence of distraction to the purpose of which God has set before you.
That's real good.
That's healing. So I can go on, but I'm in pain. And so the same example I was using earlier about infidelity or adultery or whatever, you got spouses that just leave God all of a sudden. They won't have nothing to do with God no more. Well, you should thank that man or woman that cheated on you.
That's good.
You should thank them.
Yes, sir.
They reveal the Christlessness in you. Not the Christ likeness, but the Christlessness.
Yes, sir.
When tragedies happen in our lives, and I know it can be tragedy, but you listen to what I'm saying to you. Tragedies reveal the Christ likeness or the Christlessness in you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. People die, people, find themselves in all kinds of different situations and circumstances and are paralyzed from the waist down, and it's interesting because sometimes I hear about people and they're talking about different situations and, being born in certain states, intersex, I think they call it now, something like that. And being born with both male and female kind of organs kind of thing. I seldom ever hear anybody say God.
Yeah.
Because there's an underlying anger there for God.
Yeah. Amen.
You don't hear them saying, but God knows, but I pray to God and I'm trusting God. I'm not saying it never happens. I'm saying you don't, because there's an underlying anger there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, people of God, it's going to come down to one day when we see Jesus, there's going to be no more excuses and questions and this and that and so forth and so on. It's just going to be truth.
Yes.
Just truth. And when the truth comes, you know how deep it's going to be when one day the lie has no entry point. When every knee will bow and every tongue will confess, that is the day the lie will have no entry point. There'll be no deviating.
Yes, sir.
There'll be no escaping. There'll just be God. So,
and then Minister Bailey, I wanted to ask as well, just dealing with the element of the healing. So does the fact
keep on talking about putting this cushion in my seat.
Yes, sir. Pause. So with the healing, does it more so takes place in that renewing of the mind element? So in that emotional state. So just trying to see how can one individual,
it's not just about really the renewing of the mind. Okay. I think that's an element of it, but it's not just renewing of the mind. It's the acceptance of our new state. Which is an element of renewing of the mind, but there's an acceptance of our new state. One of the obstacles that we have as saints today, y'all listen to what I'm saying so y'all can ask questions. One of the obstacles that we have today is that we are still struggling, sometimes all of our lives. We're not talking about people not being saved right now. Sometimes one of our biggest obstacles, we're still struggling with accepting the new creature. Our new state of being. Yeah. And we still think about how things used to be and how we used to be. And just think about how much you do that. That means that you're not coming. And that's why, let me tell you something. The reason why we get so messed up when we get saved and we sin is because it takes us back to our old state.
Yes, sir.
And it makes us believe in some underlying way that we haven't been freed from that state. Then we recover and we are been free. And then when it happens again, it takes us back again.
Amen.
Yeah.
They say what you praying for.